Zompark!
Good morning, Zompark, and welcome to the podcast. We've not done a podcast for a little bit, so we thought we'd, just do a bit of a random one. We've not actually got a guest. We just thought we'd waffle on to you for 15-20 minutes and just play it by ear.
Yeah, we used to do podcasts all the time. That was our thing. We was a podcast and we did podcasts.
We were.
That was the thing. We don't do that so much now. We're a podcast that doesn't do podcasts, which is great.
We are a really poor podcast.
Yeah, there's a lot less admin in a podcast that doesn't actually do any podcasts, I must admit.
There is. There's a lot. We have a lot more free time now. We don't do podcasts, even though we are still a podcast.
Yeah, but what do we do, Bex? What do we do?
We host fucking awesome live events. That's what we do.
We do. Awesome live events. The other week, we did a GMZ live. We was banging on about it for weeks and months.
GMZ.
And we did it.
We did.
And it went all right. It went surprisingly well.
It did. I think we were all kind of shitting our pants a little bit at about 6:15 when there was no one there, even though people weren't due to arrive till 7.
No,
I think we were
hoping
just,
for like a line or
something
something outside. You know what I mean? We was hoping there would be a build-up, but there was no build-up. There was a rush. It all happened at once.
And then we were like, oh my god, all these people are here.
Yeah, it was amazing. I must admit, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed it. I mean, one of the things about doing this podcast has been, talking to all the wonderful authors and meeting people like online. Mm-hmm. But like meeting people in real life, like real actual life, is a bit daunting. It's a bit scary, isn't it, Bex?
It's weird, isn't it? Because I'm like very socially awkward anyway. So I talk to a lot of people online, but then in person I'm a completely different person. But then you've also kind of people coming through the door, weren't they? And you're trying to like match them to profile pictures.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm thinking, I'm sure that's that person. I'm sure that's that person. Oh, you're this person. Oh, you look a bit different online.
Yeah, I didn't get everybody. I didn't catch everybody straight away. There was quite a few people there, and I not every face I put to a profile picture. So maybe there were some randoms there who I just didn't know. But obviously, everybody who came, we would like to thank from the bottom of our heart, because
you made the night very special.
You made it very special. Thank you to all of our guest authors and our author panels, which were incredible. Do you remember the panels? I know we were a bit tipsy.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember the panels.
So we hosted some panels. The first panel was zombie indie authors, and we had the guys from DHP Publishing, which was Devon Ford,
Suzanne Sussex.
That's her name, and Chris Harris. And we had a chat about zombie stories and how you get started and all that type of stuff. And it was good fun. It
was good, and it was a good kind of panel to kick off with, wasn't it? 'Cause it was nice and calm, and it was interesting.
Yep.
And then it kind of just went a little bit downhill from there.
Yeah, then we played a game which they were surprised about. We did like a Mad Libs game, and we had to test them on adjectives and verbs and nouns. And what we discovered is writers are not very good at grammar.
They're not. They know how to write, but they don't know what they're writing.
Yes. Well, I mean, but I guess it doesn't matter because, that they enjoy it. They enjoy the writing. We enjoy the reading. They're successful. So who cares if
But when do you ever walk down the street and go, oh, do you know what? I really need a really good noun for this sentence. You just don't, do you? It's just automatic.
I was sitting in the front row because I let other people do the games. So I was, me and you was on one end of the panel, you was on the other end. And I moved to the front row when we did the games. And I was sitting on the front row, and the cringe, there was so much cringe from that side of the room. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm in my element.
Because was it Chris that was asked first for like an adjective, and his face just dropped? He was like, what the fuck?
He was looking at me, the person who asked him to be in that panel, and he was looking at me like, I'm going to kill you, Ark. When I'm off this panel, I'm going to bury you in the earth. It was amazing.
But to be fair, I didn't know that's what a Mad Lib was. I said, like, Di was just like, yeah, I'll do a Mad Lib game. And I was like, yeah, fine. I don't know what that is, but, go for it.
Yeah, so Chris Harris, who wrote the Zombie Castle series, got really dropped in it. It was hilarious for everybody else except Chris, which just made it all the more hilarious.
Funny.
Suzanne Sussex, who held her own in the sort of adjective noun thing, was brilliant. And she wrote the Safe Zone series, which is incredible. It's one of my favourite series. And then the other person's Devon Ford, who wrote loads of
Toy
shit.
Soldiers.
Yeah, Toy Soldiers. But I mean, previous to that, he's like the mega successful series, isn't he? Like really successful stuff.
And he is the face of the publishing company.
He is. He is obviously the guy who owns the publishing company. I think it's the After It Happened series or something like that, isn't it? And then they're obviously Toy Soldiers. And Toy Soldiers is his latest series. So, and he's doing some sci-fi and stuff too, which he sent me to have a look at.
Multi-talented.
So. He is a very, very talented guy. And we really appreciated them doing that first panel. I know it was difficult.
And Devon, bless him, had something like 3 hours to prepare and to get his butt up to Manchester.
Yeah.
Because we had a dropout, so we were like, "Oh, we've got this space," and he stepped in.
Yeah, Devon was our hero. So he messaged me on the day saying, "I hear you're short of an author. Shall I come?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
please do.
Get your skates on." And there he was. He turned up, one of the first authors there. Was in the first panel, held his own, and was a real star. So fair play to Devon. And then we had a break for drinks, and it was lots of, which obviously more drinks, and then there was another break for more drinks, and then we had a halftime show. Do you remember the halftime show?
I do, and I've still got the zombie apocalypse song in my head.
Yeah.
Simon, my partner, didn't get it. He actually said to me, he said, your friend's halftime show? He said, am I just being a bit Little Britain, or is it just an American thing? And he said, why was there a goat in a mask? Why was there a goat mask?
Oh my God.
And I said it was an alpaca.
Yeah.
I said, did you not listen to the song? I said it was zombie alpaca lips. And he went, oh no, I didn't get that.
I did a wonderful dance, and she did 2 dances, didn't she?
She did.
And they were both, they were both very different. There was the alpaca lips. I can't remember the name of the other song, but it was fantastic dancing, and people really enjoyed it. People were laughing because it was funny, but they also didn't want to laugh at die. So there was that sort of conflict that there was like people, am I laughing? Am I not laughing? And I was just full out cracking up. I didn't care.
It was just when she snogged the face off the alpaca. That was the... That tipped me over the edge.
Oh, so that was fantastic. And Di and Dave, obviously 2 of our most loyal supporters here at GMZ, and they came all the way from America just for GMZ Live, and to do that dance. How amazing is that? That's just
so cool.
It's just like a little podcast, and they come all the way to the other side of the world just to do that. And you can't underestimate that sense that we get from that level of loyalty. And then the next panel, who was the next panel? It was
Peter Mckeirnon,
Claire Riley,
and Claire C. Riley,
and Ricky Fleet.
Yes, Ricky Fleet as well. Oh yeah, we had
and
to be
it
on
was
that
zombie TVs and films.
Yes.
And there's lots of highlights from this panel because Claire and Peter are very funny. Ricky's a very funny guy too. And obviously we'd all had a bit more to drink at this stage, so
everything that you said, Claire was like whispering an innuendo in my ear.
Yes.
And it was just so funny.
So Claire and Bex are at one end of the panel, me, Ricky and Peter are at the other end of the panel. So I'm doing some questions, Bex is doing some questions, and I look over to the other end of the panel where Claire and Bex are, and they are sword fighting with an imaginary dildo.
Why not?
I don't even know how the conversation got round to
I can't remember.
No, but I mean that was the highlight of the panel, is that it turns out that Claire had a zombie dildo death in her story. Peter had it in his YouTube series Dead Town, and we had it on GMZ, didn't we? As a zombie dildo death. And
yeah,
the only
and didn't Ricky have a zombie? Wasn't he saying that he had a zombie dildo death?
He hadn't, and he's going to have to put one in his series. So that was that was the point of the conversation. So we had a whole conversation about zombie dildo death. If you say that really quick, that's awesome. Zombie dildo death. Zombie dildo death. So yeah, that was an amazingly funny panel. And Claire C. Riley, who wrote the Odium series, Claire C. Riley writes lots. She does proper, and I don't mean that other people aren't proper, but she's
like full time.
She is incredibly professional. She's the most professional person that we know.
Apart from when she's whispering it in my ear, that's what she said.
Yeah. Yeah,
which she did a lot.
I mean, in terms of zombie authors, she's the most professional. She's the less inebriated of all the authors that we know. And I think, she wrote the Odium series, which is incredible, but lots of other stuff too. And not only is that series incredible in terms of its success, but it's incredible in terms of like the actual quality of it. I actually bought a copy of the signed books. I bought, because she had the old books there, the paperbacks with the old cover, and I loved them, so I bought them off her and got to sign them. She wrote some very special messages in there for me. It was some very special. There was things about dildos and fingering a nun, the usual stuff. So that all went in the book, and she was incredible. And then Peter, who wrote Devon and Allentown, has been on our podcast like 3 times or something stupid.
Yeah, we love him.
We love Peter. He's a regular.
He's so funny.
And supports GMZ and everything we do, which is amazing. Obviously created the Dead Town series, has made lots of films. They have Dead Town beer. Did you hear about Dead Town beer?
I did. I just saw it on Facebook. I was like, I've got to get me some Dead Town beer.
Yeah, and so they went and brewed their own beer, like the Dead Town guys. So that's incredible. He was hilarious, and some great stories about his books and his work. And then obviously Ricky really knows his stuff, his zombie stuff. He grew up with Romero movies, and whenever we've had him on the show, he's talked a lot about like growing up as a kid and being Romero movies and all that stuff. So and he's
so good to GMZ as well.
Oh, Ricky is amazing.
He does so much to us.
Yeah, Ricky is like the epitome of the British indie author, really. Yes. You know what I mean? He's like...
he's got his finger in so many pies.
Yeah, but he's sort of...
He's just friendly to everybody.
Genuine. Yeah, an actual genuine guy. So down to earth, so real. And he's just a nice person. One of the nicest people we know. And we know a lot of nice people, so that's quite... it's a steep gauge that he's on there. He's sitting on top of a steep hill. So, yeah, that was the second panel, which was a lot of fun. And then there was a break for some more drinks, obviously. There was more drinks. And then what happened?
It's a little bit fuzzy after that, but then we had a final panel, which was
a free-for-all.
I can't even remember what the point of the panel was. Was it?
It was supposed to be a horror authors panel, but
that was it, horror authors panel. But I don't think anyone was actually a horror author. Oh no, Dave McCluskey is a horror author.
Dave McCluskey, who does everything, who writes great novels, who does the great. What are they called? The graphic novels, and he's the comics and all that stuff. And he's a comedian.
But he does mainly horror. I mean, he's got a zombie book that's going to be coming out, but he is pretty much.
What is the name of that zombie book? We need to give it a plug. What is the name of the new book that he's bringing? The
zombie book that's coming out, the zombie love story book.
The zombie love story. It's Z a love story,
called,
or Z a love story.
Yeah, Z a love story, and I've seen the cover, and it is amazing.
It is, and I can guarantee.
So good. I'd actually like it as a tattoo.
Yeah, agreed. And David McCluskey is an actual comedian. He's an actual comedy genius.
Hilarious.
He is hilarious.
And when you get hit, so we had on the last panel, we had him, we had Peter Mckeirnon, and we had
Joe.
Joe was on as well. And honestly, putting Dave and Pete together was the highlight of my year. It was so funny. They should do like a comedy duo act.
Honestly, we were crying with laughter. And obviously, the idea was to have Dave and Pete do the panel. But then Joe said, I'll do the panel as well. And Joe is obviously one of...
Because she was pissed and she just thought, why not?
Yeah, she was pissed. She thought, well, I want to get in on all this zombie action. And Joe isn't an author. She's just one of the Good Morning Zombie team. She's one of us. So she sat on the panel as well. So we had Bex at one end, me at the other end, Peter, David and Joe. And we was asking them questions that were designed for a different panel. And they just went...
But they answered them all the same.
I even forgot what the panel was about.
We'd not prepared for this panel because the 2 other people that were on the panel had dropped out, so we couldn't... But then we didn't have time to rewrite the questions.
Yeah, so we didn't bother.
We didn't bother, no. This just shows how professional we are, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and we just asked them random questions like, would a butterfly shag a moth? And,
does a horror author have any dignity?
Yeah, exactly. We asked them questions like this, and they just, we just let them waffle on, and it was hilarious. And at this point in the evening, everybody was, free sheets to the wind. Everybody was so into the evening all together, and people were crying with laughter. And quite honestly, I think it was the big finale that we needed, don't you?
Yeah, we definitely saved the right panel for last. Like, all the panels were brilliant and they were all the best. Like, I wouldn't say we'd save the best till last at all. It was, we'd save the right panel for last because it was the jokey, fun one.
Yeah.
While everyone was a bit half cut.
And that was always
full cut.
That was always the plan, wasn't it? It was always the plan that it was going to descend into chaos in true Good Mornings on Pop style. We wanted it to be, start off with a serious interview and descend into full-on chaos as usual. Yes. And I think it worked really well. So we did the panel. We thanked everybody. We stayed for some drinks. We stayed for some more drinks. Then we went clubbing. This is, a group of zombie people walking around on a bank holiday weekend in the middle of central Manchester.
Bank holiday weekend. And
we're walking around, the central Manchester, going into nightclubs, dancing on tables, etc. It was an incredible weekend, and I can't thank everybody enough.
Thank you so much to everybody for coming, because you made that night what it was, and it was a brilliant night. And I think we're planning on doing it again.
We are.
I was dead against it. I was like, no, this is too much stress.
Yeah.
I cannot cope with this shit. But I had that much fun.
Yeah.
I think we should do it again.
Yeah, do you know what? At the beginning of the evening, me and Bex looked at each other and we said, we can't do this again. This is it.
No.
This is the last time. It's too stressful. We're too worried. Too much concern. There's too much anxiety. There's too many strangers in the room. Just give me
I have to talk to too many people.
Just give me someone I can comfort and cuddle and hide in the corner. And that's where we
just need to go and hide in the toilet.
Yeah, and we was both like that. And then
I had quite a few nervous wheeze before 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you and me both. I mean, not at the same time, but separately. No. But we both did. And it was, once it started, once we got the ball rolling and we started to get into our podcast mode with the interviews and the panels and stuff, I think we coped really well. And the adrenaline kicked in and we thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think the people who came bought into what it was. They didn't just.
But because of the adrenaline, like by 9:30, I was fucking done.
Yeah.
I was spent. I had to chug a pint of Red Bull.
And then
I couldn't sleep.
The amazing thing is, not everybody who came, not everybody who bought a ticket or gave away a ticket had ever listened to our podcast. So, I mean, some of the people there, I didn't know, they didn't know me, but they bought into it 100%. They were laughing and they were standing up and clapping and applauding, and it was 100% full on and amazing. So we're definitely going to do it again. Next time it will be probably just as chaotic. Hopefully a few more people will come. Haven't decided exactly when. It's probably going to be in the same place just because it works so well, and I think it seems foolish to do it somewhere else.
It was a good venue.
Yeah. The venue was nice, good location, because it's right in central Manchester. And not only was it a good location for you, Bex, because it's close to where you live, but it was quite easy for people to get to with the trains and stuff like that. So the venue was great. We had our own area, which was upstairs. So I can't recommend the venue enough. They were really friendly and helpful, and they do great cocktails.
They were.
Yeah. I mean, their cocktails were incredible. They had a great cocktail.
Apart from they ran out of passion fruit, so I couldn't have a fucking porn star martini.
Well, they're not going to do that next time. They
better bloody not.
I'm going to make sure they stock up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make sure that they stock up on passion fruit, and we're gonna make sure that there's enough room for everybody to come. So the next one, I don't want to give away too much because it's all in the planning. But I want to tease. I think we should tease the next one. There might be some collaborations with.
Might be some collaboration with
we're in
larger zombie groups, shall we say?
Yeah, we mix so well now. Now that we're like socialites, Bex and I.
We are now. Now we are not socially awkward anymore. We have got past the socially awkward stage, and now we are literally we're social butterflies.
Social butterflies. We've burst from our drunken cocoons, and now we've emerged. With full-on pisshead wings, and we're flapping around the room.
We're just swooping left and right, all over the place, up and down.
So we've been speaking to some of the other zombie groups on Facebook, and everybody liked the idea. Everybody's been messaging each other about this night and saying this was a great night. We need to do this again. So hopefully we should have some collaborations coming further down the line that I can tell you about, and we can tease them. So that'll be really cool. So I think that's enough about GMZ Live. I have a couple of other things to say, if that's all right, Bex.
You always have something to say.
I do. You like listening to my dulcet tones. Sometimes, I bet you, when you sleep overnight, you just hear my voice echoing in your ears.
Yeah, when I can't sleep at 1 a.m, all I can hear is, "Good morning, Zompunk!"
Yeah, and then you put a screwdriver in your brain. So, announcements. The Queuing Dead, the zombie anthology, the last zombie anthology that was on the top of the bestsellers list on Amazon for like 8 weeks or something
It was
ridiculous.
ages, wasn't it? I was so
ages.
proud of you guys.
We did fantastically well. It was a great book, and I stand by the fact that it's one of the best zombie anthologies out there. Not just because it's one of my anthologies, but because of the people involved. The authors that were in it are incredible, and some of their stories are top notch.
We had high quality, didn't we?
High quality authors. We got high quality editors in. So it's just like, it's a really well-made book from top to bottom, which is great. But the good news is it's now an audiobook. You can listen to it. And we have an amazing... Have you listened to this guy who does the voices?
You've sent me some samples. I've not listened to the whole book yet.
So he's a British guy, obviously, because it's, you know, it's the Queuing Dead, so it's all about Britain and stuff. But he does all the different accents from around Britain. He does them all, and he does them fantastically well as well. So I was really pleased with his performance, and it is a performance. It's like a one-man stage show for like 10 hours. Oh. It's incredible.
It's 10 hours, blimey.
It's over 10 hours. It's like nearly 11 hours, this whole book.
Jesus.
It's incredible value for money. If you get I'll send you a code, Bex. You can have a free copy.
You have sent me a code. I've just not used it yet.
Oh, okay. So if anybody wants a code, I do have some free codes. So just send me a message. What else? You know the Christmas book I did, Bex, a few years ago?
Yes.
Well, that's now an audio book too.
Are we having a fucking sequel to that? I've been waiting to see what Santa does for 2 years now.
Oh, well, do you know what? I had the audio book made. A lady did the audio for me, the narration. And I selected her. You know, when you do audiobooks, you can like open it up and people come to you and they're interested and they give you auditions and stuff like that.
Yes.
But no one was interested in the Z clause, right? No one really showed any interest. So I went through all of the people, their narrators, and I narrowed the field of the type of person that I wanted to do to it, because you can do searches for all the different narrators, and I found the correct person that I wanted, and I messaged this lady and I said, I really, really want you to do this. And she just went, yeah, fine.
Okay.
And she just went, okay, whatever. And she recorded it, and I love it. I love her narration of it. It's exactly how I intended it to be. Like a sort of, almost like a young adult fantasy fiction, that type of thing. And that's how I intended it. And
that is.
It's great. I haven't wrote a sequel, which, you know, is my bad. But this inspired me, and I know where the sequel is going now. I know what the story is. I just haven't wrote it down, so I should.
Awesome. Yeah, please crack on.
So if you want to buy either of those audiobooks, they're available on Audible now, available on Amazon too. I do have some free codes for The Queuing Dead, not for Z Claws, but I do have some free codes for The Queuing Dead if anybody wants them. I think that's all of our announcements. Do we have anything else to announce?
What about the zombie romance book that you're putting together?
Oh, yes, we have.
You're putting together another anthology?
Anthology, with some anchovies sprinkled.
Anthology. Anthology.
The anthology.
Aren't you?
Yeah, so when I went down the GMZ anthology route, the idea always was to have 3 books, 3 anthologies. So the idea was to have the charity anthology, to do the Queuing Dead, and then to do a romance anthology, and that was always because we have this thing. It's
like the Cornetto trio.
It is like the Cornetto trio. Yeah, mine's more like the waffle, because it's waffly versatile. So it's like the waffle. So you can fry them, bake them.
They go with beans, chili,
exactly.
Fish fingers.
It's waffly versatile, right? So yeah, the waffle trilogy, and the last one is the romance one. Now the reason is romance. People go, oh, romance, sex and zombies don't work. No, you're right. Sex and zombies don't work because they're dead and you can't shag a zombie, right? Doesn't work.
You can.
Well, you can. It's just so it might fall off. You might need some.
If you want it enough.
Yeah. You can have sex with anything if you want it enough, can't you, babe?
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's just a case of desire. That's all it is. How much do you really want that?
It's just a case of like.
Yeah. Where's the story going, Bex? Come on, you worked in the healthcare field. Where is this story going? How much desire do some people have?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Yeah. Having pulled a string of Christmas lights out of someone's rectum. on Boxing
I've never
Day.
had to do that.
No? I bet you have.
I've seen pictures of like bottles and kids' toys.
Oh my God. Little Johnny was crying
cucumbers.
that Christmas.
Oh.
Can I have my Power Ranger back? Yeah, in a minute. What? 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes.
Someone get me a magazine, damn it.
So anyway, we have this thing when we talk about love in zombie apocalypse books. We're not necessarily that impressed with the sexy, are we? But what we always say is that love in the apocalypse is a must. It's a staple, isn't it? Because if the world's coming to an end, then what's going to spring to your mind is your parents, your children, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, the woman that you haven't seen in 20 years, who you still love, or the person you wish you were with.
Your
so
mistress,
love your
hooker
mistress
on the corner.
The love is going to be the first thing in your mind when the world's coming to an end, isn't it? It's like,
yes,
who would I want to be? So for me, romance and the apocalypse go together. I know for a lot of people it's a hard mix, but I want to prove that it can be done, and it can be done
because it's natural. It's a natural human trait to want to be with other humans, and you want to be with other humans more, unless you're socially awkward like we are. When there is disaster, when there is chaos, you cling to other people for support.
Yes, and I think, in apocalyptic scenarios, I think if one thing that the movie Speed has taught us is that Keanu Reeves... I've not
seen that film in ages.
Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock would never have got together if they weren't on a bus that was going to blow up. It wouldn't have happened.
That is true. They would not have been together.
It would never have happened. I think that's one thing that's taught us is that in those very dangerous situations, you can find time, even if you're on a bus that has to stay at whatever it was, 80 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, I can't remember, without it blowing up. Even if you're in that sort of tense situation, love can still blossom. There's still time.
There's always time for a bone, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, that's true. You can always find time, can't you? That's the thing. You can
always find time for a bone.
Yeah. So this is my theory that love can blossom in the apocalypse, and I think I'm going to prove it by doing what's it called? Love is Dead, the zombie anthology, which is the last Good Morning Zombie anthology. I say last because I really don't want to do any more. This is the very last one. So that is it. No more anthologies after this. Yep. So we're going to do that. So if you're interested, if you're an aspiring author and you want to take part, then get in contact with us. Best place to do that is our group, our Facebook group, which is buzzing at the moment, isn't it, Bex?
It is, because we've got so much chatter about the weekend that's just gone and about future events, and I think everyone's just really excited.
Everyone's really excited, yeah. So if you want to get in touch, go to the Facebook group. We have a page as well. The page is kind of useless these days, but...
Yeah, we don't really interact on the page. It's mainly the group.
Yeah, so go to the group, interact with us, come have a chat, and we can always, if you want to submit to this, the anthology, I'd be happy to read your work. Do you know what? Can I just tell you a quick story from Sunday night from GMZ Live? Okay. So, I was talking to an aspiring author about her work, and I was talking about I'd read it. She was asking if I'd read it, and I said yes, of course I'd read it. I'm not an expert, but we read a lot of stuff, so I'd be happy to read it. And then the person sitting next to me was also an author. And it turns out that person had submitted a story to our anthology, and I had declined it.
Oh dear! Oh no!
I was like, oh shit!
I'm so sorry!
I'm so sorry. It must have been awful. It must have been. There ain't two ways about it. So.
Oh dear!
I said it's all right. We had an awkward moment for a while, and it was funny, but it was
rather you than me, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, so I like awkward moments though. I enjoy them.
Yeah, Sue was saying that you like awkward moments.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy the tension of those 4 or 5 seconds of people just looking at each other as like, oh, what's happening?
I fucking hate that. That's my worst nightmare, and that's why I hate you.
Yeah. I've done it to you on here as well, though, haven't I? You can't hear me properly, or I can't hear you properly, so I just left it. And
I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to fill the silence. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. Or you go off script. You go off script, completely, and I'm like, what the fuck and then I have to try and think of something. It's been okay tonight. We've not had any script, but because I'm not looking at a script. It doesn't matter because it just means I could just talk naturally. But when I have a script, I'm so stuck in script mode that if you go off script, I'm like, what?
I think that was the bonus of GMZ Live, is that we didn't bother with the script. We wrote one and then we
had a loose one, didn't we?
Yeah.
But we just really didn't bother.
We chose to ignore it. So people were coming up to me and go, "Oh, what's next?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Honestly, I don't know." And they're like, "Well, what questions do you ask?" And I'm like, "Well, I've got questions here. We may ask these. We may not ask these. I don't know. Honestly, come back. We'll find out."
But then we never did.
No. Anyway, thanks for listening to us waffle on for half an hour. I really appreciate it. We will get back to doing regular podcasts again, won't we, Bet?
Yeah, we need to get some guests and things on. So if you want to be a guest on GMZ, drop us an email, send us a message on the group, just carry a pigeon, I don't know, just let us know and we'll get you booked on.
We need to do some more Zombie Ate My Panties with Jocelyn Depp.
We do. We're kind of like halfway through, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got to finish that bad boy. I want to know what happens.
We do.
Yeah,
I know what happens.
Do you? I never got to the end because I was waiting for the slow reveal on the show. So we're going to do some more of that. Definitely doing some more of that.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
Do you know what? We should have done some at GMZ Live. Why didn't we do some?
Next time.
Next time. So next time we're going to do some Zombie Ate My Panties as well. So imagine that. GMZ Live.
Imagine that. GMZ Panties Live.
We should get some GMZ underwear, ladies' underwear, with the logo on, and I have to wear them on my head whilst I read it. I should do that. Yeah, does that sound fair?
That sounds fine.
Okay, you have to wear the GMZ stockings, though, whilst I read.
Okay, that's fine. I can do that.
Okay. Not on your head, like a bank robber.
Like an actual, like on my legs?
Yeah, on your actual legs. Like not.
Okay, that's fine.
Not over black jeans.
That's fine. I was wearing a dress on Saturday. It's cool.
You was, and your dress matched your hair, which was incredible.
It did. Yes.
It did. Yeah.
Right.
Amazing. Everybody looked amazing, especially me. I looked incredible.
With your waistcoat on.
I felt like Gareth Southgate.
You did. You did look like Gareth Southgate.
You did. Like a younger, shorter, fatter, balder Gareth Southgate. Very attractive. With glasses. God, I'm a picture.
You are literally the spitting image.
It's no wonder I get all of those naked pictures sent in my email.
Gareth, look at me!
Look at me.
Not Gareth.
It's funny because all of the people that send me emails of themselves in their underwear all tend to be from Eastern Europe, and they all want me to send their bank account so they can fly over, which is hilarious that that's how they do it.
So do you have lots of Eastern European women living in your house?
Not in my house, no. I prefer to keep them off site if possible.
Oh, okay. That's fine. But like within driving range, I presume.
Oh yeah, no, you have to keep them close so you can feed them. Otherwise, there's laws against that.
Is it like an Eastern European sex slave Tamagotchi?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Oh, it's Tamagotchi rules. What if you forget? Oh shit! What about my Eastern European sex slave Tamagotchi from 4 years ago? Shit, I forgot.
But do you remember, like, when your teacher used to take it away and put it in a desk drawer? What if they put, like, the Eastern European sex slave in the desk drawer and you came back on Monday and it's all starved?
When you had your Tamagotchi and it wasn't on silent and you could hear it dying. That was bad. Yeah, I know. You're just on your knees in the classroom.
And you're like, oh shit.
Just on your knees in the middle of the classroom. You murdering bitch! Oh, childhood trauma.
I'm sorry, I didn't feed you.
There we go. Right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to our podcast and our mild ramblings.
Yes, thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. If you want to send us an email, the email address is
wineandgiggles@gmail.com.
Yeah, it's because I whine a lot and Bex giggles a lot.
No. I drink the wine, you do the giggles.
Oh, I thought it was because I whine a lot. But yeah, it works.
You do. You're just the whole wine and giggles then, obviously. Yeah,
obviously. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, Bex, for being my wonderful... I don't want to say co-host because you're not my co-host. I'd say more like I'm your co-host. So thank you very much for being like the podcast, for being everything about the podcast that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that.
What do you want?
Nothing. I've
not got any money.
I don't feel like you get enough credit for all the good work that you do for the podcast. I feel like I get most of the credit because, you know, it's... I don't know.
You're a man.
I'm a man. I've got a penis. We have, you know, white penis syndrome. If you have a white penis, you get more credit than everybody else.
You do. You do. And I am yet to grow a white penis.
Well,
I'm trying.
You can have mine. It's fine. I don't mind. I don't need it.
I'm trying to do it like a South Park episode where I grow a penis on a mouse.
Yeah, and then you can just carry it around in your pocket and be like, oh yeah, thanks for coming to the Mark Moore show. And you just take out the mouse with a penis. And the Beck show.
I am relevant now. I have a penis on a mouse.
Yeah. Do you remember when GMZ was called the Mark Moore show? Do you remember that? I have a T-shirt that says Mark Moore on it, like Mark Moore show T-shirt.
Do you?
Yeah, I actually brought it with me to Manchester, but I didn't wear it for fear of dying. Yes.
Yeah.
But I did wear it the other day. I had one of the people from GMZ come into my shop today. Because I own a shop,
oh, really?
an actual shop. I'm not going to tell you where it is because people are weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had one of them. They walked by and then they waved and then they come and knocked and come in, which was
no way. Who was it?
It was someone I used to go to school with, so they recognised me. Like I haven't spoken to them. I walked in and said, "Oh, a long time no see." He's like, "What are you talking about? Long time? It's like 35 years or something." You look for 30 years, you lunatic. But he said, and then he come in and said, "Oh, I saw GMZ live. That went really well." Anyway, so yeah. That was that.
That's quite cool.
It's weird, isn't it? Right.
It is.
Excellent. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being wonderful. And I'm going to press stop now because I'm waffling on. So bye.
Bye.
Bye.